In this video, I'll show you how to use your ColdCard with Sparrow Wallet. This video is part of the ColdCard guides, and in the previous video, I showed you how to set up your new ColdCard. So if you have a brand new device, I suggest you go ahead and watch that video first. I also have a whole series of guides on Sparrow Wallet, which you might find helpful too. I will leave links to all of these guides below. Before we get started, let me give you a bit of background about ColdCard and how it works. ColdCard is a Bitcoin hardware wallet that allows you to secure your Bitcoin completely offline. ColdCard is fully air-gapped, meaning that there is never a need to connect your ColdCard to an internet-connected device. Bitcoin wallets consist of two main keys, a private key and a public key. The private key is needed to spend your Bitcoin, and the public key is needed to receive Bitcoin. So what we do in this tutorial today is we export the public key from our ColdCard to Sparrow Wallet, where we can start receiving Bitcoin. But we cannot spend the Bitcoin in Sparrow Wallet because the private key is only stored in the ColdCard offline. So the Sparrow Wallet becomes a view-only wallet or a watch-only wallet. Then when you're wanting to spend Bitcoin, you would need to build a transaction in Sparrow Wallet. Then you put that on an SD card and sign it offline using the private key on the ColdCard. So let's get right into how to actually use ColdCard with Sparrow Wallet. Alright, here I have my ColdCard unlocked and ready to go. Now I already have a seed phrase loaded on this ColdCard, but if you don't, I suggest you go ahead and watch my other video, how to set up your ColdCard. If you prefer to generate a seed using dice rolls, I also have a video on how to generate a seed with dice. And then once you have a seed phrase loaded on this ColdCard, you're ready to go. The first thing we need to do is export this wallet onto Sparrow. To do this, I first want to plug in my SD card. So I go ahead and plug in the SD on the side of the device here. And then what I need to do is scroll down to advanced/tools. And I click on that. Next, I scroll down to export wallet. I click on that. And now for Sparrow Wallet, we need to select the option that says generic JSON. So here I am scrolling down and there I see generic JSON. So I click on that. Now ColdCard's going to give us a bit of information here. It says saves JSON file with XPub values that are needed to watch typical single signer UTXO associated with this ColdCard. So what this is saying is that it's going to export our XPub, which is our extended public key, and it's going to let us watch our UTXOs, basically that's our Bitcoin balance, within Sparrow. So I'm going to scroll down, and it says here, press 1 to enter a non-zero account number. So we're just going to leave this on the default account number, which is 0. If you want to change the account number, just press 1, but again, we're going to leave it to the default, and we're not going to press 1. Now, if we scroll further down, it says, the file created is sensitive in terms of privacy, but should not compromise your funds directly. So we're going to be exporting only the public key, which will never compromise our funds. It can only compromise our privacy because anyone with that public key can see how much Bitcoin we have. So everything looks good here. To proceed, I'm going to click on this tick. And there we go. It says generating. It's generating my public key, and it's going to copy it onto the SD card. And there it says generic export file written, coldcard export.json has been written to my SD card. It says it's also written this file here, coldcard export.sig. So that all looks good to me. I'm going to click the check mark to proceed. Now we've basically got the public keys for our ColdCard loaded on this SD card. So I'm going to pull that out. And then we're going to move it over to the computer. I'm going to plug this in the computer and we can move on from there. Alright, here I am on my computer and here is my SD card showing on my desktop. So when I click on that, here I can see the two files that I just exported from my ColdCard. And this is what we'll need to import our Bitcoin wallet into Sparrow. So what I'm going to do now is open Sparrow Wallet. Then at the top left of my screen, I'm going to click File, New Wallet. Then I give this wallet a name. So in my case, I'll call it ColdCard, then click Create Wallet. And now over here, we need to click on Air-Gapped Hardware Wallet. Now next to ColdCard, just to the right of that, we can click on Import File. Then we'll need to open our SD card. So here I click on my SD card, and then we need to click the .json file. So here's ColdCard export.json. I click on that, and then I click open. Here we can see our xpub and zpub, which are our public keys. Alright, all we have to do now is click apply over here and set a password if you want. Because your ColdCard is likely for long-term storage, I suggest you set a good password. Alright, I filled in a strong password, and now click set password, and my wallet is ready to go. Now we can start receiving Bitcoin into this Bitcoin wallet, but we can't spend it on Sparrow. The Bitcoin is essentially stored offline in our ColdCard, but we can view the balance in Sparrow. Now, when I say the ColdCard stores your Bitcoin, what I actually mean is that the ColdCard stores the private key, which is needed to spend the Bitcoin. So because the private key is not loaded into Sparrow, we cannot spend Bitcoin. It's essentially stored offline somewhere safe. Alright, so now if we click on the receive tab here on the left, or if we click on addresses, we can see all our Bitcoin addresses that we can start receiving funds to. So here if I click on receive, here is an address that I can send some Bitcoin to. Before I send Bitcoin to this address, I'm going to set a label. I always recommend that you set a label. It becomes very handy down the line. I like to set the label as where the coins are from. So for example, let's say you're using an exchange, you would say exchange A or B or whatever the actual name of the exchange is. So receiving Bitcoin is that simple. All you do is click receive, and here is your address. I'm quickly going to send some Bitcoin to this address for demonstration purposes. Here I've got Blue Wallet open on my phone. I'm going to click send. Then I'm going to scan this QR code on my screen, and then I insert how much Bitcoin I wish to send. In this case, I'll send 150,000 sats. Perfect. Now I'm just going to click next and then click send now, and we should see the Bitcoin arrive in my Sparrow wallet shortly. And there we go. I saw my Bitcoin has arrived. So if I go to addresses over here, we can see my first address has 150,000 sats. And if I click on transactions, here we can see that incoming transaction. Now, when receiving Bitcoin, it's always best to use a new address each time. So if I click receive, Sparrow will automatically give you a new address. So let me send some more Bitcoin again for demonstration purposes. This time I'll set the label to exchange B. I'll make this big, and I'm quickly going to send more Bitcoin from Blue Wallet. Alright, so that Bitcoin did arrive. So again, if I click on addresses, here we can see my two addresses, each with a certain amount of Bitcoin. And if I click on transactions at the top of my screen here we can see 2 Bitcoin transactions. So that's how to receive Bitcoin in your ColdCard. Let's take a look at how to actually send Bitcoin from your ColdCard. What we need to do here is build the transaction within Sparrow. So we tell Sparrow where we want to send the Bitcoin and how much Bitcoin. Then we need to export that transaction onto our ColdCard so that it can give it a valid signature using our private key. Once we've signed that offline using the ColdCard, we will export that back to our computer and we'll broadcast that transaction on Bitcoin's network. Before sending a lot of Bitcoin to your ColdCard, I always suggest you do a test spend first, just to make sure you've got the right key pairs loaded within Sparrow. You should also wipe your seed phrase from your ColdCard, then reload that and do a test spend, just to make sure that the backup you have written down is also correct. Alright, so the first step is to build the transaction in Sparrow. So what I like to do is go to my UTXOs tab over here. So I click on UTXOs, and here are the 2 UTXOs sitting in my Sparrow wallet. If you don't know what a UTXO is, I have a video on UTXOs, so I suggest you go ahead and watch that. Anyway, what I like to do is select which UTXOs I wish to spend. In this case, I'm going to select all. Then I click on send selected. Now I need a Bitcoin address to send the funds to. So in this case, I'm going to be sending it back to my Blue wallet. Here is the address for my Blue wallet. So I copy that. Then I'm going to paste it in the Pay To tab. Next, I need to set a label. Again, I always suggest that you do put a label. So in this case, I'll be saying Blue wallet because I'm sending the funds back to my Blue wallet. Next, we need to select an amount. So here you would type in how many sats you wish to spend or how much BTC you wish to spend. I want to send all the Bitcoin back to my Blue Wallet, so I'm going to click on Max over here. Next, we need to select a fee. To find the best fee rate, I like to go to mempool.space over here, this website, and I like to see what the low priority, medium priority, and high priority fees are. So I don't mind waiting a bit, so I'm going to set it to 9 sats per byte. So here we can see the rate. I need to push this to the left until I see that's fine, 8.89 sats per byte. So now I need to click create transaction, then I click finalize transaction for signing. And now typically within Sparrow Wallet, you would sign this transaction, but because I don't have the private key that's on the ColdCard, I have to click save transaction. And I'm going to save this onto my SD card. So here is my SD card. I want to click on save. And then if I open my SD card over here, here it is. Here we can see bluewallet.psbt. So PSBT stands for partially signed Bitcoin transaction. And this is the built transaction that needs a signature. So what I'm going to do is eject my SD card and move over to the ColdCard. Here I have my ColdCard plugged in. I just need to fill in my PIN, so I'm going to quickly do that. And here we have my unlocked ColdCard. All I need to do now is plug in this SD card that has the partially signed Bitcoin transaction on. So I'm going to quickly plug that in, and now the ColdCard is ready to go. All we need to do is click ready to sign, which is all the way at the top of the menu. So I'm going to click on ready to sign. And there it automatically read the Bitcoin transaction loaded on the SD card. Now it's just going to check with us if we are okay with this transaction. So it says okay to send this much Bitcoin to this address. So you just want to double check that. The amount looks good to me, and that address, I'm going to check the last 4 characters. That address looks good to me. I see at the end it ends in CJKJ, which matches. So what I'm going to do now is just scroll down a bit more. It says the network fee, I'm okay with that. And then it says press OK to approve and sign this transaction. So I'm going to click OK over here. And now the ColdCard will sign that Bitcoin transaction for us. That is all done, and now the ColdCard says PSBT signed, and the updated PSBT is wallet signed.psbt. And if we scroll down even more, it says finalized transaction ready for broadcast, blue wallet-final.txn. And then there is the final TXID as well. So everything looks good here. I'm going to click OK to proceed. And now the signed transaction is loaded on my SD card. So I'm going to pull that out the ColdCard, and we're going to move back to the computer. Here I am back at my computer, and here's the SD card with the signed transaction. So I'm going to plug that in to my computer. And if I open my Finder, here we can see my SD card with the final transaction. Here we can see final.txn. So now back in Sparrow Wallet, what I need to do is click load transaction. Then here in my SD card, I need to open this transaction, the wallet final.txn. I click on that and I click open. And here is the transaction ready to be broadcast. This transaction has a valid signature from my private key, so it is ready to go onto the Bitcoin network. All I have to do now is click broadcast transaction. And there we go. My Bitcoin has now been sent from my ColdCard to my Blue Wallet. And that's it. That is how to send Bitcoin from ColdCard to any other wallet address. Just a quick recap of what we actually did is we exported the public key from our ColdCard onto Sparrow. Sparrow can then generate Bitcoin addresses, which we did, and we sent some Bitcoin to those addresses. We then wanted to spend that Bitcoin. So what we did was we built the transaction in Sparrow using the public key. Then we had to export that via SD card onto the ColdCard so that the ColdCard could sign that transaction with the private key. ColdCard did that. It gave us a valid signature. Then we exported that back to Sparrow Wallet and we broadcasted that transaction onto the Bitcoin network. And that is the end of this video, how to use ColdCard with Sparrow Wallet. If you found that valuable, liking and subscribing is free. There are a whole bunch of other ColdCard guides on the way. If you wish to fund future videos that I make, you can make a donation. I will leave a link below. and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, everyone.